Welcome to the Knuckleheads of Liberty.
This issue about the age is really, I find, very fascinating. That we as a society think it's okay for to send off our young boys, 18 years and older, to war, to use a gun, and to even kill someone or be killed in the process of that. But yet there are some sectors of our society think you have to be 21. I mean, we'll do this at 18, right? But
Right.
some sectors of society think that we have to wait until they're 21 before they can even purchase a gun legally here in the United States. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and the reason it's important to gun owners, and particularly our association, is that the um, you know if once you're an adult, gun owners didn't decide when people become an adult. The government decided when people become an adult, and when
Sure.
people that's 18. Once you become an adult, you get all the rights an adult gets in America, and their job is to protect those rights, not regulate them, not take them away, not step on them. So if we sit back and say, well, okay, you're an adult, but the Second Amendment really isn't as much of a right as the First Amendment or the Third Amendment or the Fourth Amendment. So yeah, you can keep that away from certain adults, even though they haven't broken the law, they're not dangerous, anything like that. So the reason it's important is the Second Amendment is not a secondary right. We're not second class citizens. It's just as important as the First Amendment. It's just as important as all
Yes.
your other rights. The right to vote, for example. So if the government decides, hey, you know what, you're not an adult until you're 21, okay, fine. But then 18, 19, and 20-year-olds can't be drafted. They can't vote. You can't just decide that, hey, this right is more important than that right. Therefore, we're going to keep it from some adults and not others. So that's why we're fighting back. I mean, we've ignored the issue of, well, gee, statistics say that 18, 19, and 20-year-olds are blah 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 blah. Whatever. You decide when they're an adult, but once they're an adult, they get the right to keep and bear arms.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I guess buying alcohol would be somewhere in that mix as well.
Right. Yes. Good point. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Well, so people have asked, well, gee, what about driving or buying alcohol, that sort of thing? If there's an organization that fights for that as a right, I wish them all the best of luck. It's not really we're single issue, right? We're just worried about the Second Amendment. But I'd
Yeah.
also ask them to examine: is driving a car a right? Is buying alcohol a right? I don't know. That's up for them to decide. Anyone could, if you have a big chunk of land and you're driving a car on your chunk of land without going on government, property, you don't need a driver's license, right? But it's just that as soon as you get on that government property, which is a road, that's when they require a license for that. So anyway, try not to get too far down in the weeds. We stay single issue, but people do draw comparisons a lot, and we say, hey, whatever, you guys decide if that's a right, if it's not a right. Go talk to organizations who advocate for drinking and advocate for drug, whatever. But the Second Amendment is just as important as every other right, and once a person's an adult, they get it. Period.
And
Well,
that's kind of the way.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that's kind of the way I think it helps to think about these things is that at that age where you're able to bind yourself to a contract, it really doesn't matter what the issue is. That's the age where your rights apply. And so if you're 18, if we've decided that's the age, then it just seems absolutely silly that a legislator might say, okay, well, this age for that or this. And what's to stop them from looking at the other end as well, right? I mean, oh, God, you're 80. Maybe you're too old to be president. To me, it seems real dangerous to sit around and think about taking away people's rights based upon what age they are. One standard for an adult, and that should really be it.
It is, and it's a not so subtle message they're sending. They're basically saying, hey, look, you have to understand that the Second Amendment is a very dangerous right. So, no, it's not. Owning a gun's not owning a gun and not being able to defend yourself is a very dangerous situation.
Yes,
That's what's dangerous.
Exactly.
So we really, the not so subtle message they're sending that, we have to somehow concede that firearms are, the boogeyman. Forget it. We don't concede that in any way. Keeping people from defending themselves, that's really dangerous.
Well, the government will always see firearms in the arms of the law-abiding citizen as a dangerous thing, because this is what's supposed to protect. Well, the Second Amendment is not there for hunting. It's not there for target shooting. The Second Amendment is there for us to defend ourselves, both from the criminals on the streets and from a tyrannical government. And people don't seem to understand this. And this is a real problem. And you're absolutely right when you say it is dangerous when we are unarmed. It is very dangerous.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, always.